Hey kids, you know how these are the Jungle Book movies you're aware of? Well, would you like to know the darker side of the story, the PG-13 and 12A rated version of a Jungle Book that will give you nightmares? Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, directed by Andy Serkis, the king of motion capture himself, who was Gollum precious, King Kong, Caesar, and Supreme Leader Snoke, and is now directing the motion capture driven and darker 2018 Netflix adaptation of Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book. So Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle tells the story. I don't need to explain the story of The Jungle Book because everybody knows the story by now. It's just, let's just say it's darker than the Disney adaptations. First PG-13 and a 12A rated Jungle Book movie with no songs. Initially, Mowgli was intended to be a cinematically released movie until Warner Brothers looked at it and thought, screw it, this isn't cinematic worthy, it will be a total flop in comparison to Jon Favreau's Disney Jungle Book, so it's straight to Netflix. Good thing me and my mum have Netflix, so we can easily view it for free. I guess at some point more and more movies will transfer to Netflix. That sucks if movie theaters don't exist in the future, because cinematic trips are the greatest for me. But I'm okay with some movies going to Netflix as long as not all go to Netflix, if you know what I mean. But as for Mowgli, it's not my favourite Jungle Book movie by any means. That's still the 1967 Disney animated Jungle Book. As this movie was lacking in the heart of that movie, but I do favour it over Jon Favreau's mediocre, overrated 2016 remake of Jungle Book. So let's get to my positives with Mowgli. This movie stays true to the darker tone of Rudyard Kipling's books, which is refreshing. Finally, we're not having a lighter-hearted Jungle Book anymore. It's not afraid to show how Rudyard Kipling accurately wrote his stories back in the day. Yeah, Andy Serkis, you can see he was passionate about making this movie. He wants his own Jungle Book. And you can easily differentiate this movie from the other Jungle Book adaptations. Now that the Disney animated Jungle Book and Andy Serkis's Jungle Book exist, you can have the fun one, or you can have the darker one, depending on which you're in the mood for. Yeah, and this Mowgli, I certainly like this Mowgli better than the Mowgli from Jon Favreau's Jungle Book, who was a whiny brat. Whereas this Mowgli, finally we have a confident and badass Mowgli with a character arc of self-discovery and his true heritage. And the motion capture performances and voice acting from the cast, Andy Serkis as Baloo, Cate Blanchett as Kaa, Christian Bale as Bagheera, Benedict Cumberbatch as Shere Khan, they are amazing. And Kate Blanchett's Car is superior to a Scarlett Johansson's car. Andy Serkis plays a more serious and a stricter Baloo than the Disney version, which is a good thing, as it's a change. And Christian Bale as Bagheera, he's also a more serious and rougher Bagheera, and Benedict Cumberbatch as Shere Khan. Thankfully, he's more similar to George Sanders as Shere Khan than Idris Elba's Shere Khan, and he's more snarly than Idris Elba, which I love, and the albino wolf puppy who Mowgli befriends in the pack, he was such a cute pal for Mowgli, and a pal Mowgli could relate to, as he's also an outcast from his pack. So the saddest moment in this entire movie was when Mowgli discovers that the human hunter has murdered this poor pup and mounted his head on his wall. Andy Serkis, that was graphic, man. And yeah, this movie does have balls to show blood in the fight scenes. Yeah, it's you know, in some movies where characters after a fight scene they come out with no injury, and not a scratch on them. Not in Mowgli. No, they full on show the blood, which convinces you that character had just fought for their life. There's even more of the man village in this movie, and a human antagonist, a hunter, as well as Shere Khan for Mowgli to face. That's something we didn't guess in the Disney versions. Although darker isn't the same as a flawless film. So as for my gripes with Mowgli, the movie simply lacks the heart of the Disney animated classic. Like, you don't feel like Mowgli has a friendship with any of the animals here, like he did in the Disney movie. Mowgli defeats Shere Khan far too easily. He's fighting a freaking tiger, Andy Serkis, and he's just a one-man cub. You'd think it would be a little harder, although the one satisfying moment in this climax was when the elephant comes out of the forest and just kicks the hunter's butt, so he gets his just desserts for what he did to the wolf pup, thankfully. And finally, the character designs of the motion captured animals look far too cartoony. I would have rather they just have real animals. I know they just CGI animals in movies now, but just because with today's technology they can. But if you're going to CGI the animals in a live action world, make them look like they fit in with the live action world. These animals don't. So the wolves look like freaking does and deers. I give Mowgli Legend of the Jungle 3 stars out of 5. Good movie. So yeah, neither the best nor worst Jungle Book movie, but a good one nonetheless, and we can expect a million adaptations of Jungle Book, each with a different director with their vision, as we've received a million Christmas Carol adaptations. Well, I love you guys, thank you for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and what do you think of Mowgli, and which is your favourite and least favourite Jungle Book movie? Please comment and let me know, please like this video and subscribe, please find me on Twitter and on Google Plus and on Instagram, and I'll see you all next time. And remember, movies are us. Bye guys.